everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagel here. I want to take a moment to talk to you about advertising on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yeah, we get this question quite a bit. Here's what you have to do. Contact Morgan Harrison via email. It's morgan.harrison@alphamediausa.com. From there, she's going to have one of our folks connect with you on how you can advertise right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Or since Alpha Media is a full-service advertising company, online, other radio stations, and even television, since that's just about all through the internet. Happy connecting.
My name is John. I could not lose the weight I needed to. The Institute for Functional Health Wellness Program was the answer. It included a great deal of testing, supplements, and weekly face-to-face doctor visits. I finally had the accountability I needed. I am now 50 pounds lighter. I no longer have pain in my elbow, back, and hips. I have more energy and just feel and look so much better.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. What are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Freshness made easy with Febreze small spaces.
Want continuous freshness that fights odors with no batteries and no outlets? Try Febreze small spaces. Ah, but what's a small space? To answer that, we brought in our lawyer.
Small spaces include, but are not limited to, bathrooms, closets, laundry room, kid room, pet corners, man cave, she sheds, most nooks, and all crannies.
There you go. Febreze small spaces is the world's most convenient. Febreze small spaces is super convenient and never stops freshening for 45 days.
Be happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Live from the Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
We had a no-no in Major League Baseball at the third one. Framber Valdez Astros blanked the Cleveland Guardians 2-0. The Astros also made a massive deal before yesterday's deadline, bringing back three-time Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander for two of their top prospects, Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifford. And I'm telling you now, Zach Martin, he is not getting a new deal. We talk about it on R&R in the morning.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh, my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up.
So wake me up.
Wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition. To the left-hand slam.
I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Let me tell you, an intro song's never been more appropriate. It's R&R in the early morning. He's Rudy, I'm Rob, coming to you live from Oxnard. The tennis courts are busy this morning. We got a company coming.
Yes,
we got to
do.
tidy up the place. The defensive coordinator of your Dallas Cowboys, Dan Quinn, is imminent. He'll hit the car wash, and we expect him about 8:20. So don't go anywhere. Keep yourself planted. We've still got Jerry coming around the bend as well. Stephen Jones is going to join the Blitz during the day today. They should be breaking into programming about 10:30 is the expectation as Stephen Jones will join the Blitz for his annual. It'll be a pleasure to see him after last night. He held court there as well.
They're also getting Stephon Gilmore today as well.
Oh, that's right. Gilmore as well. Who
it's been a great week. I mean, you talk about Jerry, and I know that they may get a quarterback tomorrow, but don't quote me. But they may get some quarterback, and I ain't talking about Cooper Rush.
We'll start our weeklies with the coach tomorrow as well.
Yeah. So Jerry, Steven, Deron Bland,
that ain't poverty.
Dan Quinn,
that ain't poverty.
Stephon Gilmore,
that's what we've got.
A solid week for the San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, in every camp, no matter the level, defense is always in front of the offense when camps begin. I mean, you fly to the ball. It's always.
It depends on what team. Now, it depends on what team you're talking about.
It's rare that I'm just talking about. Defense is always easier to get things going. It is. Very rarely do you see an offense hit the field on day one of any practice, whether it's pee-wee to pro, and go, those guys are precise and crisp.
I'm trying to think about.
And I think that's how on day one, that's what it looked like.
If you finished 25 or lower on defense, I'm not going to say you hitting training camp.
I'm talking about against your own guys on day one of practice. You know, defense just seems to be, it's just quicker to go. It just is. I think because defense is so much more instinctual. I mean, so you just do what it just seems faster. And sometimes the defense can be so much ahead of the offense that it hinders the development of both. You know what I mean? That the defense is so good, they're never tested.
Get anything done.
And the offense can't get anything done. And I've seen that happen too. But what we saw from week one or day one to day two in the pads was day one, pre-snap issues. You had some backup issues with jumping and losing some snaps.
Well, Matt Walesko got cursed out and benched.
It got benched. And there were some other things going on too. That was addressed, obviously. McCarthy addressed it during yesterday's press conference, and it was the first opportunity we had to sit and see the coach.
Yeah, I sat there. I don't know. It was hot, that press conference.
Man, there is something about the Oxnard sun. I couldn't even look up at him. It was so bright. But what I could see as the press conference had just begun was my co-host's hand raised. Asking,
first of all, I got chastised.
You did,
because I didn't know
this up because I don't know what he said.
Okay.
Did you not follow the protocol?
Well,
of your hierarchy.
I got chastised twice.
Okay, what was the first?
The first one, I spoke out of turn. Like you're supposed to signal to the guy and tell him, "Hey, I'm ready," and then he comes to you.
You didn't
do that.
You asked.
I'm used to go for yours.
Well, also
that's what I'm used to. Like you just speak.
Yeah.
So I'm used to that. And then I was recording Mike McCarthy, but now to post it, I know the rules. I've talked to Joe about it. You can't record video during press conferences. So it was just for me to be able to listen back. I hate the voice memo. So he comes over, hey, you can't record. And I was like, dude, I know. I was like, Joe already told me. I was like, I'm not. I was like, go to RudyJ_star. You'll see no videos of any press conference on my social. Like, I'm good. I was just so I can listen back to it. He was like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I got hit on the hand twice.
I knew the first one was the pasty face dudes, the nerds. They get a little upset when you jump the line.
I didn't jump
because
the line.
You know they have thoughtful, considered journalist questions, and all you have is blowhard, hot air radio questions.
Right.
So,
but I think my question was the best of the whole press conference.
So I want you to judge the question to Coach Mike McCarthy, asked by Rudy J of 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, I asked him. It was cut 14.
It's cut 14, Edward.
I was asking him, hey, don't play it just yet. I asked him because when Pledge cuts these things, he cuts the questions out, which is fine. But he's supposed to leave me in it. But he left me out.
Oh, he left you out of this?
He left me out. Which is fine.
That was your claim that was it.
Like, what the hell? No. I asked him, hey, you know what? Due to the fact that you don't get to hit much and you don't get to be physical and all the different rules you have in training camp, do you have to play guys more in preseason just to get ready for week one?
Had you thought about that question, or had you written it down like this is?
No, I thought about that. I was going to ask.
I was curious. When you sat down, had you planned on asking the question?
No.
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 And go ahead and run it.
that that have.
What happened, Edwin? Okay.
Well, I think like anything, I mean, there's so many tools that are supported by research. So we got a couple goals that we're trying to hit through the preseason. Obviously the game opportunities and in the ability for your roster development is critical, because I mean this is a very healthy 90-man roster. It's going to be very competitive, so that'll play a big part into really working backwards in developing this football team. So, whether the stars are play or not, that's, we'll see how the practices go.
That's Mike McCarthy. One of the things I want you to consider with his answer, Rudy, notice there's no, like last year, didn't they have a couple of inter-squad practices with the Rams?
He said that this year they're not doing
doing it. And what he said was there's a lot of studies and, data to back up the number of snaps. And I don't know where he was going with that, but obviously there's something that tells him the optimum number of snaps per day or something is X, and we're achieving that according to the, you know what I mean? Which I don't get it. I don't get that.
That's analytics.
Yeah,
that's not a tap dance. That's the analytics of sports have taken over sports.
Yeah, but I know the eye test. You can tell me snaps and this and that. The football teams are not ready on week 1 like they used to be. They're just not. You can tell me that the data says other things. I know what used to be when training camp in Wichita Falls was at 107.
They're not ready.
And you could practice for 3.5 hours. And finally, when you got to play on Sundays in what was an air-conditioned stadium, it felt good, and they were ready to go.
Yeah, they were ready to go, but you also had more injuries.
Well, I'm not saying it was better. Right. I'm just saying those teams are ready to hit. You didn't have missed tackles. You had crisper routes. You had more. They were just more ready to start the season than they are now. And that's just because they're hindered by the number of reps and all of that.
You know what we sound like when we go against analytics? We sound like old guys.
I sound like an old soccer player.
You sound like an old man with the rocking chair when we say,
it's my
eye test. It's my eye test.
It is better to hit and be prepared to start the season than it is to wear big soft pillow hats and do what they do.
Let me tell you something. When they learn to make those things look cool, they're gonna wear them.
They're
gonna wear them in games.
Impossibility.
What do you mean? To make them look cool?
To make them look cool. You look like Kazoo. You look like a slee stack, and there's no getting around it. And even those who have no idea what a slee stack is, look at that. That's what a slee stack looks like.
Okay, that's fine.
So there's no way.
What is a slee stack?
Oh,
I've never
Land of the Lost. Yeah. This is an excellent opportunity for all of our YouTubers to jump in and comment with us. Please tell me that you've heard of what the Land of the Lost and know what a slee stack is.
No, I don't. I've never heard of it. I swear. That's why when you said it right now, Rudy, I looked at you like I want
to let everybody know Dan Quinn's on his way.
10 minutes.
Yeah, he's 10 minutes out. Over the last 12 hours, actually less than that, over the last 7 hours, 6 hours.
I'm listening.
I have never felt more old in 2 different circumstances.
Wow.
The one that just happened that you haven't seen. There's times I assume we're of the same age. And then you say, well, no, you don't know what a slee stack. You never watched Land of the Lost.
Yeah, I've never seen
And then last night, on the bus ride home from Nobu, I've never felt older in my life.
What happened?
Well, I was amongst a much different, younger generation. And it was just...
I heard there was a concert on the way home. I was asleep.
There was all kinds of stuff. I just felt like I was sitting in the... I got stuck at the kids' table.
And you didn't.
And they didn't want me there.
You didn't know any of the music.
It wasn't. I didn't know any of the music. And first of all, I'm kind of out of the loop on the new music stuff.
As you should be. I am.
My sons are gone, so I don't hear it coming out of the bedroom.
Gotcha.
A lot of the new music has bad 80s music intros. I didn't know that. There's a hit song with the outfield leading into it.
What's the outfield?
The Josie's on a vacation far away.
I don't know.
That was the beginning of a song that everybody was singing to.
Really?
I don't know who it was. And I thought, that song sucked then. Why would you take that out? And there was another couple. There was one with a Billy Joel intro. So they're grabbing old stuff.
There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, these kids they're not creative.
But I just thought it ridiculous, the ones that they chose.
It's
like they chose the B-sides
Well, this is the thing, Rob. That's why we're out of touch. Because
Yes.
I say we.
I get it.
I say we.
We.
I say we because I'm out of touch as well. I don't know a lot of that music. I hate that I missed the concert.
Well, I hate that you did too, because there was not only a concert, there was a floor show. Because the kids that were there also acted like I would have at the same age at a place like that. With an open bar, beautiful sea breezes, and time to enjoy.
Free food.
Trust me, they did. As did I.
Yeah.
As did I. But you reach an age where self-control, it becomes a priority in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And there wasn't a whole lot. I'll just leave it at that.
I don't blame him.
It was.
I would have done the same.
One of the guys got sick, just got sick, and kept getting sick. He got sick.
It's in the air this week.
He got sick. Yeah, I knew there'd be some vomit this week. I just didn't know there'd be this much vomit. We've been here 3 nights, and 2 nights there's been vomit involved.
It's all
so
good.
He got sick, passed out. They cleaned everything up. And here's another rookie mistake, kids. If someone vomits, cologne ain't going to help the situation. Perfume doesn't add or help to disguise the smell of that. It just enhances it. It's an X factor when you. So somebody sprayed a bunch of perfume. Jason Minix and I are sitting in 2 different rows, and you ride on these big buses. The air conditioning comes out on the vents right next to the window. Well, Minix and I, our faces are attached to those vents like we're sucking air on a downed airline. I mean, just anything to not smell that.
Yeah.
For an hour. This was recent. You slept through it all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had to get that extra hour. It's a vet move.
Vet moves.
Get that extra hour, baby.
You know what?
I knew it was going to be a long day.
You know what a vet move is? Going to Twin Peaks tomorrow night to open up the NFL football season. That's a vet move.
Oh, damn.
The NFL begins tomorrow night. We have our Hall of Fame game.
I bet you Deshaun Watson. But go ahead.
Hey, trust me. Head over to Twin Peaks tomorrow night because the season is beginning, and you know what Twin Peaks does with football season. They chew it up, put it together, and you got prime food coming out of the kitchen. That's what I love about Twin Peaks. I know it's a chain restaurant, but when you order the food, it's like Mama made it coming out of the kitchen. And coming off the bar, the mixologist knows what she's doing. You want to talk about a perfectly served bourbon? All I need to tell you is an icy ball is involved. And when you have it at your man cave that is a table, you got 360 degrees of TV, and when you come down to it, it's those degrees that matter, like 29-degree cold beer. Hey, tell you what, look at your compass that is San Antonio, and you got a place to go. Twin Peaks is all over our city. Go to the far west side at 151 and 410. Days of All and I-10, that's my home court. You're central, that's easy. That's right there in Loopland. 281 and 410 at the Park North. And that brand new locale right off IKEA Lane. Go see Twin Peaks. The eats are spectacular. The drinks are always icy cold. But let me tell you what, I know why I go. It's those scenic views.
Don't forget, we got the Hall of Fame game on 94.1.
Absolutely.
San Antonio Sports Star tomorrow night.
I was going to tease that forward. That guess what? We're going to be your home for Monday Night Football. You know that, right? We've told everybody that, right?
And Saturday. And
Saturday.
Monday,
and Sunday.
And Tuesday.
And we got everything you're going to possibly need for your professional football. We've aligned ourselves with a different organization this year. And we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming our way that we haven't seen before. It's going to be a great football year.
Yeah, so when the times you caught in between from going from Twin Peaks over to Slackers, tune in to 94.1. Keep up with the game, keep up with your fantasy stats, keep up with your bets on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you use your Alexa for any of that stuff?
No.
Do you say, hey, Alexa, play a San Antonio Sports Star?
I forgot. I've heard the commercial that we can do that, but I'm not an Alexa guy.
Really?
No.
I would have one in the bathroom.
I'm old school.
I know they're listening to me. I don't care.
Yeah,
I love the fact that when I come to Oxnard and I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed and they're trying to get me to rent a boat in the harbor right next to me. I love the fact that they know that. I don't have to look for it. It's just right there.
Yeah. My phone tracks me enough. I don't need another. I don't need Alexa tracking me too.
Nothing to hide.
My phone was on. As soon as I get in the car, my phone's like, oh, you headed to Alpha Media. I'm like, damn.
Only thing I'm worried about is my search history, and I can clear that.
My search history it's sports crap.
Yeah, that's what I say.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
My search history is.
You don't have to wink at me. That's what I say.
I tell you. You know me. I'm an open book. I'm as transparent as they come. If my search history was dirty, I would tell you. I don't give a damn. I don't care what people say about me. But no, my search history is pretty clean, man.
That's the great fear. You click on something and it reflects your entire life on one bad click.
Yeah.
I at one point in my life watched a movie on Netflix that was made in like Bollywood just because somebody recommended. Well, Netflix just decided from that one viewing experience that all I really wanted to watch were movies made in the near Asian continent. I mean, it was just, I didn't get the good choices. My algorithm was shot by one bad click.
It happens.
And well, that's the same thing with
the algorithm is real. All you have to do, if you like, but yesterday y'all were talking about fishing. I have my phone right by you. I get on Facebook and it's fishing tours. I'm getting all these damn right. I'm like, I wasn't even talking about it. You and Tim were. But this damn microphone, now I'm getting all these different ads for, hey, come fish with us for $10,000 an hour. I'm like, dude, I can't afford you.
I love
and
that.
I don't even fish.
I love that.
I don't know how to fish. I think it's cool. I just don't know how. So I won't be going on any tours.
You know, there's a joke there.
What?
Have you ever heard of anybody being described as too dumb to fish?
If that's the case, there'll be a picture of me.
I think you can probably fish.
No, I can't.
I think that Tim Spencer would have you as an angler in no time.
The thing is, as getting older, you understand what you're not. I'm not a fisher. And I'm okay with it. I like to go. I'll go with my brother-in-laws and we hang out and we have a great time. And I watch them catch fish and I clap.
Are you saying that you just don't catch fish or you just don't want to catch fish?
I'm a photographer for the people that catch fish.
So you just don't want to do it. It's not like you can't do it. You've just decided you don't want to.
I don't have the patience.
See, that's me. I'm not a patient guy.
And then they're only fishing off. See, they're not real fishermen. Like we'll go to Port A and they'll fish off the pier. And every now and then, like one night,
you know, you did guys slot cornerbacks right then.
Whatever.
You just stepped into the slot cornerback world.
I've seen them go crazy off the pier. I'm talking about big ass badass drums.
Sharks.
Yeah. Like they've caught some stuff. Like there's been like 2 nights where they gotten hot, but then there's been like 7 where they only catch seaweed.
But pier fishermen will tell you that they're fishing, that it ain't luck.
It's luck.
Yes, it's luck.
It's luck.
When you just sit there with a hook in the water, I think that is
off the pier is luck.
See, but if you say that, you're calling fishermen a slot cornerback. When you say to fishermen that that's just luck.
But wait a minute.
That is derogatory. You know what? Don't judge me on that.
Anywhere you catch a fish is luck, isn't it? It's all luck.
Hey, Fisher people, it is
all
at
luck?
Rudy J_star.
Yeah, it's all luck, right?
I'm not going to wade into it. I just assumed that
now this is what I will
some kind of skill.
The part that's not luck is how you do your thing. Because because the thing about it is, this is how I know I don't know how to fish. Because I'll bring
a lot of activity.
I'll bring my reel up, and the shrimp's gone. So I know I didn't bait it right. Because like they're able to bite. If they're able to bite my shrimp off, and you didn't get hooked, that means I didn't bait it right.
It's a very crafty fish.
That's it, because I do live shrimp. When we go, we use live shrimp. They put in a yellow bucket with the
aerator.
I hate that thing. Bait them. I put it on wrong. I throw it out there, bring it back up, and all the little fish have eaten my shrimp. And that's when I'm like, you know what? I quit and I start drinking. It gets frustrating.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? I'm just wasting y'all shrimp. Yeah. I'm gonna get on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and drink beer. Y'all have at it.
Can I ask the fisherman, how the hell do you keep the shrimp alive on the hook? How do you do that?
I don't know.
Well, I've seen those guys. Their shrimp are still swimming around. Mine are like flopped over dead. How do you keep it alive?
I think they die once you hook them.
I don't think so. I think there's a way that you can like turn it into like a zombie shrimp. That it's on the hook, but it's still alive.
Yeah. It's tough. I don't know. There is an art to baiting. There's an art to casting, and I'm not good at any of it, but I do like going with my people. It's cool.
Well, you're not a fisher person.
I wonder if you think Dan Quinn fishes?
I don't know. I hear tell.
Or you think he golfs?
Do
you think, but you know what? NFL coaches really have no lives. They have no lives.
I think they get, it's like
it's very demanding.
Well, I think it's like an Alaskan summer. I think they get about 30 days of 24-hour sunlight,
I don't think
and then they go back in the cave.
We're supposed to talk to Mike McCarthy tomorrow. I don't think he got that this year because he took over play calling. I think he's been, to the wall since they let Kellen Moore walk. I don't think he's had that opportunity. Now, Dan may have had that because he has pretty much the same core guys, same system. Now, he may have gotten that 30 to 60 days, but when you're taking over play calling as Mike McCarthy's done, I don't know if he got that time off this year.
I think if Mike McCarthy was
they've been
20
doing
years
a lot
younger,
of
he wouldn't have
install.
taken any time off. I think.
I don't know. Well, I guess we'll ask him tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how Quinn did approach this season because things were such in good place, and then he just added more talent. Because the season ended in a good place, 2 years in a row, leading the lead in turnovers. It's a team that is really predicated on them playing that complementary off defense that gets them to where they're going, and then you added to that. You added a defensive lineman that is projected to start. You brought in a Pro Bowl cornerback. And by every measure, you're deep at 3 of the 4 areas you need to be deep at. Yeah. So you wonder how much or how little sleep was lost coming into the season, knowing full well that side of the ball is his. But there ain't nobody looking over your shoulder.
You know what? And we're going to talk to him right now here in a bit. The thing I'll say, Rob, is I think it was already that way with them, with the defense. I think it was. I agree. I think it's. I don't think it became that because now he's doing the play call. And I think it's that way because it's freaking Dan Quinn.
That's why had no issue
here, right?
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're not the head coach. But you're half of it,
right?
You got one side of the ball with no questions asked, and the proof has certainly been there. But you did bring up something that I do think is worthy of consideration, as there is this split between O and D.
How you doing,
Where
Coach?
do we sit? Here we come. Have a seat, Coach. Here we go. I have a feeling you can work these as well as I can. How's it sound? You sound good?
Like a DJ.
Like a DJ?
Yeah.
Well, there's always a place for you in San Antonio if you're looking for a gig at any time in the future as an analyst. Hey, thanks for setting your alarm. Talking to a coach about setting his alarm. Yeah. So what's an off day?
Joined by Dan Quinn.
Yeah. Oh, Dan Quinn, the defensive coordinator for your Dallas Cowboys. We've been promising you for the last 30 minutes. Sitting down with us. Morning, Coach. We're glad you're here with us.
Yeah, good morning, man. I'm pumped to be on with you guys. And so, excuse my voice a little bit. Extra teaching, extra classroom. So I apologize for that.
How's training camp going?
You know what? It's been a blast. I was so excited. And just prior to getting on the plane, I saw one of the players, and he just grabbed me a smile and a hug. And he's like, man, we get to. And I was like,
I like that.
It wasn't like I have to go to training camp.
Yes.
It was like, Q, we get to. And it was like a smile and a hug because they were so excited to kind of show the work that they put in. So
I love that mindset.
Get to versus have to. And I thought that made me smile when I saw him. And I know this man.
Now, Coach, think back to the beginnings of your career. Was that the same attitude then most of the time, or is it different now?
I think it's that's a good question. It's different. Well, training camp's different, of course, too, but not everybody had that mindset. Right. I see so many of these players have the get to right now, but it was definitely different. There is a real advantage to coming away. I know it's, for you guys, traveling all the way out here, but there's a connection that takes place. There's some things just being away together as a group. You may not be able to quantify it and put a number on it, the importance that, we can't measure that. But I would say this connection that they have, they're in between meetings or at night or being together, it integrates your team as good as you can. And so when it gets to, late January, where they're, in a playoff game and loud as hell, and, there's about 2 minutes left and, it's 13-13 when you're connected in that way, not just like, this guy is a teammate, but like you got love for this guy because like you've put it in together, you spent the time.
Some of that in the middle of the night.
Some of that happens here.
We're at training camp.
Yes.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, Coach, you've got the lay of the land now. I mean, you've been around this camp three times, and you're really ensconced here. What is the difference with being with this team? And you're organized. You knew what you had coming in. You added a couple of pieces, but this is essentially the team that you've been putting together for the last couple of years. What's the attack method now?
I think it's you feel where you're not back to the bottom of the hill. We're now kind of like at a base camp, and you go back to that space because so many players have had some experience. We know each other well, and we've got a lot to prove. And so we're not starting at ground one. And so it's definitely harder for the new player this year than the new player 3 years ago. So the Micah and Osa and Chauncey and Bo's in class and Kelvin, that class, they weren't so far behind the veterans because they had only had the off season to put the information in. And I remember Law, yelling at these other guys, come on, man. They know this, fill in the blank better than we do.
Right.
And so
what do you do
that
for
is-
Mozzie? What do you
that
do
is
for the
not
young
the
guy
case,
when you know you've got that a class that's a couple of grades ahead, and you're trying to get a guy caught up? What do you do for that?
It's a great one because there has to be some extra time, and you find the little windows to coach the rookie on the specific things that they'll need to do. And so they may not get everything right away, but this is really important for you to play it at this spot. Then we can keep stacking and adding on to it.
Cores and concepts and precise later.
Yes. And so once we get the concepts in, then we can, work around and feature guys in a different space. But for the rookie, it's also an important time for us to find out what they can do. Not everybody does everything really well, but if we can find the things you're really good at and put you into those roles when you get into the game, that's when it can really take off, because they have those specific roles when they get in the game. Like, I can do this better than anybody. And, in a way, it's in the NBA, a guy who can, shoot behind the arc and he can catch and shoot, and so you can deliver somebody who can catch and shoot. I think of like a Ray Allen who's like catch and shoot. And how did you drill him? I remember him talking about, like, in his practice doing like a push-up before a catch and shoot, because he had to push off somebody.
Yeah, he had to backpedal. I've seen him. I've seen that
clip.
Can
you imagine that kind of detail that you go into, or the way that Steph Curry moves to catch and shoot?
I want to say something.
Like, that drill work is it's awesome.
This is Coach Dan Quinn, defensive coordinator with the Cowboys, sitting next to us in blue 11s, giving us basketball references. Respect. You're a baller. You appreciate the game?
I definitely do.
All right.
So just following through the
do you
NBA
play
playoffs. I'm more catch and shoot, right?
That's what I've become
in my life, But I do really respect it, and
that's awesome.
I think the NBA has done a good job of, developing players, and I'm certainly interested into that to see how they take somebody, and sometimes they may only have 1 year of college or none, and work them up, and how do they go and utilize those players to keep improving? Because to me, development sometimes gets a bad word, where it's not just the younger player. Like, we're developing all the guys.
Absolutely.
Micah's developing. He's getting better. Jaron Curse is developed. Like, there's always things that they work on to get better at. And so you don't want to think, if you think, hey, I made it, I don't have to work anymore, like, say goodbye.
That's it. Now, let me ask you this, because I don't think media or fans understand how hyper competitive the players are. When I was out at practice yesterday, your side of the ball, there's some barkers. Like, how do y'all toe the line of competitive versus where it gets like, okay, that may be a little bit too far, that may be a little bit too harsh? Like, how do you toe that line? But because you want that competitiveness,
yes,
but you also don't want it to go too far.
Yes, and I think it's a challenge, because we want them to push that all the way to the line, like toes on the line, but not cross it. And so that is learning, I would say, where to compete. Don't compete in the wrong spots. Too much after the play to get you out of whack for the next one. So learning where your spots are, how to do that, I think that's important, because if somebody loses a focus for just a moment, whether it's on the receiving end of something or saying something you didn't get the call, then that crossed that line. But at the end of it, they are connected and they are tight. So they just want to bring it and go. And it's kind of in their DNA, what they're made of. And that's why these guys are unique. If everybody could do it, they'd do it. So they got a little extra something in them that allowed them to get to this level of a competitor, because quite honestly, you wouldn't be here in this environment, in this arena, if you didn't have that extra.
You already had Diggs. Your initial reaction when you found out y'all acquired Gilmore?
Yeah, pool party. The pool party time. It was a nice addition, and I had heard a lot about the man as well as the ball player. A number of people texted me, Dan, is this a great guy? I remember, Matt Ryan, who played with him in Indy, or just, like players that texted me, other coaches that texted me to say, hey, man, you got one here. And I've seen that when he has something to share with a teammate, whether it's on offense or defense, he's so willing to do that. And so when you add the ball player and the man of that caliber, it expounds into other, parts of your defense.
I'm always curious about the witchcraft of forming a team and getting the guys to fill a role and play that kind of thing. And when you look at your team that was already a team, I mean, you add a guy of that weight and gravitas, what's it like implementing a guy like Gilmore onto a team that's already been pretty damn successful?
Well, I'll tell you a story that happened probably about 3 weeks ago. I was out walking with my wife, and I must have been about 10 minutes had gone by, and she says, where are they? And I said, where's who? And she said, where are the players in your head? You haven't said anything for like 10 minutes. I'm just sitting there watching you. And we were just walking. I said, oh, my bad. So I said, well, we're doing good.
We call that an RPP. That's a rich people problem right
I was
there.
like, all right, what would that look like if he was over to this side, and how would that go? And so I do enjoy that because part of me in this camp is learning some of the new players and what they could do. That's, some of the rookies that we have. We have 9, rookies that are here, including Steph, who's new, but there's a good nucleus. But adding these new guys, that's been a real priority for me coming into camp. What are some of your goals coming in to say, can I really integrate the new guys? Can I really, understand what makes them that, who needs work in what area? And that's why sometimes in practice, we're now just calling plays to see some guys, like I want to see a lot of man-to-man against the tight end. That's the nice part of training camp. Like, I can do that. and get a see.
How much control do you have on that? When inside the parameters of, cut sheets and plays and timing and all of that, how much control do you have on?
Quite a bit. And so, because you do want to find out what, certain guys have. There's a overall knowledge to have.
Is it built in, that flexibility for you?
Yes. And certainly there's other moments that you want to see, some of the big guys I want to see in the run stuff, some of the pass guys I want to see playing man-to-man, because we like playing aggressive and playing onto people and playing tight into our coverage. So let's see what that looks like. So all of us have, we call them work-ons, some things that we're, working on to get better at, coaches and players. But for me, some of my work-ons are, I want to find out what unique stuff a guy has and say, let's see more of that, or let's see less and try somebody else into that spot. So it's ongoing over the next month that I'll find out more and more, some in practice, some in the preseason games. That's how we do it.
One of my work-ons is getting you on time. So I want to appreciate you stopping by. Coach Dan Quinn sitting in with us here, R&R in the morning here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We appreciate your time this morning. Good health, great season. We look forward to talking to you again.
We appreciate the support and look forward to seeing everybody when we get back up.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
That is head coach Dan Quinn of your Dallas Cowboys. Coach, can we get a real quick picture as we continue? This is live radio and photo going on at the same time.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much, Coach. That's Dan Quinn. That's what you get on San Antonio Sports Star. When we are here, so are you. That's what we heard from the coach, the inculcation. I just said it, Rudy, inculcation of this defense on his young guys. And what I really loved, what I really appreciated about what this was, is he understanding that there's some guys got to go a little bit further to get where the other guys are. And getting that done ain't an easy thing, and I hadn't considered that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great conversation. Glad we got to sit down with Coach.
We'll continue with that and more. Jerry, hold on tight. This is R&R in the morning, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The guys are on the road again. This time, San Antonio Sports Star travels to Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught.
With the full support of AA Best Bail Bonds, providing complete backup for any of those things that happen while on the road.